I can feel makeup air coming down. Oh, there's something in there. What are they doing? I think they might have filled these with cardboard. There's cardboard in there. What the heck? Well, that's cute. Someone decided to try to make their own baffle or something.
This video is brought to you by Sporlan. Quality, integrity, and tradition.
Today we've got a call on exhaust not working. Don't know which one. They're saying in the middle of their broiler area. So looks like we got a belt on the ground right here. So let's just see what we got. Running. They're all running. Wonder what they're tripping about. I don't like these belts on the ground though. But yeah, all the exhaust fans are running. What the heck? Interesting. Well, I'm just pulling them apart looking at them, but this is a newer exhaust fan. We installed this not too long ago and it's vibrating to all hell. I don't know if that's coming through on the camera, but I have a feeling there's grease built up on the wheel or something, because that's not good to vibrate that bad. I don't see anything stuck on the wheel. I mean, there's a little bit of grease on there though. I'm gonna recommend they have it cleaned. But yeah, that's not a good vibration. But we're just gonna keep checking the rest of them. They're all running though, so I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, so far, the units are fine. Pulleys are good, belts are snug. Don't see anything wrong. I don't know what to tell them. All the exhaust fans are running. They're all running in the right direction. The makeup air unit was running. The belt is nice and snug. Don't see any problems there. I'm gonna fire this guy back up, but I guess again the makeup air unit can be part of a smoke issue. These filters are plugged, so maybe we're not delivering makeup air. Maybe that's a problem. These hood filters look to be plugged to me. I'm gonna have to have them pull them down, but these ones right here, they're pretty built up, so I'm wondering if that might be the problem. I can feel makeup air coming down. Oh, there's something in there. What are they doing? I think they might have filled these with cardboard. There's cardboard in there. What the heck? Well, that's cute. Someone decided to try to make their own baffle or something. Those filters are definitely dirty. But again, it's hard to get them out right now because they all come out together. So look at the inside of these filters. Yeah, they're plugged for sure. They're not cleaning these properly. I could notice a huge sound change when I pulled the one filter out. I was able to get them out safely. So the problem is they got stuff cooking already. So this is a tricky one because everything is working when I got here. So I have to do my best to just kind of troubleshoot everything. So these are the 4 motor starters. They're all fairly new. I can't see there really being a problem with them, but when the hood switch gets turned on, these are the contactor coils that open and close. So just to see if there's something funky going on, I'm gonna stop them and make sure they re-engage as if like a coil was failing or something, you know? But I don't see any problems. I mean, they're all re-engaged. And they're all pulling back on. So, okay, let's jump back up on the roof. So these are tricky ones because it could either be an intermittent problem and or it's one of the issues that I already found, like the plugged up hood filters and or the cardboard in the makeup air screens. Now, I have a guess on why that cardboard was there, but I'll explain that in a minute. Also, the plugged up filters on the makeup air unit. The makeup air unit blows through those perforated screens that was on where that cardboard was at. And for some reason, there's when I opened up and showed you guys up into the hood vent right there, there's supposed to be another perforated screen up higher. And if you have all those perforated screens in there, theoretically, it creates even airflow and air distribution. Now, in the past, I've had to talk with this customer before because they think that those makeup air units are air conditioning. And my guess, because I didn't put the cardboard there, my guess is that they put that cardboard there thinking that they could control the airflow and slow it down, probably because they were cold in the winter time. Here in California, we don't have very cold winters, and the makeup air unit runs all the time. So I bet you anything, they were cold, so they put that cardboard up there because there's no direct fire supplement, or you know, there's no heat basically in the makeup air. There's only cooling because there's an evaporative cooler. So I have a feeling that they did that over the winter just because they were cold. We get stuff like that happening. And this is why you got to look at the big picture. I don't know that that was the problem, but it's things like that that can go missed for a long time. And then, you know, then you find them years later or something like that. And kitchen staff will do that kind of stuff, thinking that, you know, this is too cold. It can't be that cold. It's like, well, you know, we have to address it another way because that's the makeup air. We need it. Anyway, so we're going to pull these filters on this guy. Check these guys out real quick. All right, these filters are plugged. This is looking up to the sunlight. I mean, you could barely see anything through. So we're gonna give these guys a rinse. I don't think they would need coil cleaner. They probably just need water. Good rinse. The cell deck media pad does need to be replaced. It's disintegrating, but it's also falling out and not sitting in correctly. But I don't think it's restricted. I mean, I could feel plenty of air moving through the cell deck pad. So we're gonna start by cleaning these first. All right, these things are bad. And you know, this is starting to happen as restaurants are starting to open up here in California. They're really starting to realize the severity. But I mean, look at the stuff. And I'm rinsing from the inside out, but look at all that stuff just coming out of there right now. That is nasty. So gotta make sure that we are thoroughly doing our job. You know, the exhaust fan system, again, I still don't know what their problem was because everything's working and it's not smoky in the kitchen right now. But we got to do the best to look at the big picture and evaluate everything and understand that an exhaust fan is part of a system and it's not just a fan. So you don't just, oh, the fans are working and call it a day. You know, we've got to be thorough and understand how the system works. So with an exhaust fan, you have multiple exhaust fans, usually in a hood. And then there's some sort of makeup air. There should be at least. You know, other things that can happen, and I will check before I leave. There's sometimes there's dampers, or I mean access panels that grease cleaners will take off to clean the hood system. And you know, I've had service calls where the access panels were left off. I mean, there's so many things to check. So big picture diagnoses, as usual, guys. You don't just come in and say, well, the fans are working, I don't know. You know, we go look at everything. Hood filters, something as simple as that. They're plugged. Yeah, I don't clean hood filters. That's not my job, but these are makeup air filters, by the way. I shouldn't even say filters. Well, yeah, they're filters, but grease filters, I guess we call them, for the hood. They're meant to capture the grease before it gets up to the fans. But, you know, you got to look at everything and give the customer the best bang for their buck when you come out here. You can see the difference now. I mean, you can see right through it. So these are pre-filters to filter the air before it gets to the cell deck media, which is the evaporative cooling media. So on the cell deck media, you've got a water pump right here and a temperature controller right there. When it gets above the set point, sensor's right there, turns on the water pump, starts flowing water across the cell deck pads, and it's an evaporative cooler, so it brings air across that cell deck pad that's wet, evaporates the water, drops the temperature of the air. It does add humidity though, so you got to be cautious about that. So all right, we're gonna put this guy together. I am gonna quote new cell deck pad because it is falling apart and disintegrating, and when we do something like that, we'll quote all new spray rails on the top, new hose, new water pump, new float. The temp control should be fine. We might change the sensor on it, but yeah, we should be good on the control. All right, we got that back up and running. Since I'm up here, I'm just checking all their other exhaust fans, and I come over to this one and there was cobwebs on it and it's not running, and I thought maybe we had left it off or something, you know. Turn it on, nope, it's locked up. And when you try to spin it, you can hear the bearings are bad in that motor. So we'll go ahead and make them aware of this guy too, let them know their restroom exhaust fan's not working properly. And to save myself some headaches here, it could be something as simple as replacing the motor, but what happens if it's cheaper to buy an exhaust fan as a whole instead of just a motor? I don't know. So with that being said, whenever I work on this stuff, I take down the curb dimensions, I take down the wheel dimensions of the fan, also take down the motor information and the pulley dimensions. That way I have power to go anywhere. I can change the whole fan with the information I have today, or maybe just the motor. It's, you know, completely up to the customer. And it also depends on how much, because sometimes on some of these small fans, it's cheaper just to replace it. So we'll see.
You know, sometimes we get these calls and we don't know what was going on because it's working when you got there. So when I got to this restaurant, the exhaust fans were working. Everything was fine. But again, the whole big picture diagnoses thing, okay? Got to step back, got to try to recreate the problem, look into it, ask questions, try to figure things out. So I did find some stuff going on here. And what I found is that all the exhaust fans were running, all the belts were fine, you know, no access doors or anything had come off. We tested the control system as best as we could to make sure that contactors were re-engaging, you know, by hitting the stop button and stuff. But I found that the hood filters were plugged up, okay? And, you know, you can't always judge the hood filters by the look, but I just kind of get this feeling that, you know, when some of these places haven't been doing preventative maintenance, they probably haven't been cleaning their filters properly either. So I was able to, you know, inform the customer that they needed to have their hood filters clean. Now that's on them. They got to do that. But in looking at that, I noticed that the makeup air just didn't quite feel right. And then I realized that there was cardboard in the perforated grills. And then on top of that, I don't know if you guys caught it, but when I pulled down that first grill and I looked up into that makeup air diffuser or whatever you want to call it, there's supposed to be a second perforated grill up there. There's supposed to be two perforated grills. And what they do is by having two perforated grills, it allows that whole entire cavity to load evenly and distribute evenly, even though the ducts only come down in 3 places, right? So the duct opening is only in 3 places, but because they have those double perforated grills, it allows for a nice even distribution. So couple things. Number one, that second perforated grill was missing inside that diffuser, okay? And then I found the cardboard. And I did talk to the manager, actually the kitchen manager, because he was the one who goes, yeah, I did that. And, you know, and I had to explain to the general manager and the kitchen manager, explain how the makeup air works. And I explained to them because the reason why they put that cardboard there was because the hottest part of the kitchen, you know, when they're standing in front of their grill, you know, flipping burgers or whatever they're doing, he said, my cooks are always sweating and they're getting hotter. They're really, really cold, you know, and he goes, and we don't get even air coming out of that thing. And he goes, and it's, you know, the guys get hot. And I go, okay, but I had to explain to them that that is not air conditioning and that is not there for the cooks. That is there for the building balance and to be a makeup air, right? So between the hood filters being plugged up and the makeup air not being distributed properly because they had all that cardboard in there and those perforated grills are missing, my best guess is that's why they were having smoke issues in the kitchen. Now, I couldn't recreate the smoke issues that they were talking about, and I will say something too, that when I saw the general manager and the kitchen manager, both of them did not seem too concerned with the amount of smoke that they heard was there. And what I mean by heard is there was a new manager that was working, and that manager was the one that said it was too smoky in the kitchen. So I think there's a couple things actually going on here. I think someone was overreacting a little bit, thinking that the kitchen was too smoky, but then we had some issues too. The hood filters being plugged up and them blocking off those makeup air grills. Okay, so I did bring up to the facilities department that we need to get those perforated grills replaced. I've got to reach out to Greenheck because I believe they're the manufacturer of the hood, I think. But anyways, I have to go back through my stuff. I have to reach out to Greenheck, and I'm going to quote that appropriately. Now, I'm also going to be quoting to repair that makeup air unit, as I mentioned too, because we need to get the new cell deck media replaced. The cell deck pads are, you know, rotting out, and we need to go ahead and do a rebuild on the cooling system of that evaporative cooler, because come summertime, you know, even though I said that that's not an air conditioner, it still tempers the air. And, you know, if we're bringing in that ridiculous amount of air into that kitchen and we're just pumping in 120 degree air, well, that is going to affect the building temperatures too. Right now, it's not as hot yet. We're like 85-ish, you know, 90 I think was the hottest day, but that was only for a day. It's currently right now April 10th of 21. Okay. So, but here in about a month or two, we're going to be 95 to 115 for the rest of the summer. So we definitely want to get this addressed. But the cooling issue, you know, and the evaporative cooler, you know, as far as the cell duct pads and stuff, that I don't think had much to do with the smoke per se. I guess it could have had a little bit with the plugged up pre-filters, but again, the point I'm trying to make is you've got to look at the big picture. You cannot just go in with that fixation on everything's working, I'm out, and bounce, right? Because, you know, there's more to be found. You just got to open your eyes. And then while I was up there, you know, found an exhaust fan for the restrooms not working. So it's all stuff that I can bring up. And I'm being observant. And because I have access to the roof, I'm up there doing something else. I can poke my nose around and say and bring up to the customer, hey, you got an exhaust fan not working. And I'm generating work for myself too. Legit, not being, you know, not ripping them off or anything like that. I'm just observing and bringing to their attention and saying, hey, do you want me to address these other issues that I found while I was there? Okay. So it is so important to take a step back and look at the big picture. Okay. Hey, I really appreciate you guys making it to the end of this video. If you haven't already, please go check out my website, hvacrvideos.com. Hats, sweaters, shirts, everything available on there if you want to help support the channel. Also, check out TrueTechTools.com if you're interested in purchasing any tools, and use my offer code BIGPICTURE, one word, and you get a nice discount and I get a small commission. So it's kind of a win-win. You get to purchase tools from a great company at a great price. I get a small commission from it. Also helps to support the channel, okay? Other ways that you can help to support the channel, you can become a channel member on YouTube, which essentially is a way to make a monthly commitment to the channel. And, you know, it's as low as I think is $1 or something like that. You have to log on there. Just go to the YouTube channel membership thing and it says it all on there. And then there's also Patreon. Patreon's another way where you make a monthly commitment to donate to the channel. Again, you don't have to do that stuff. It definitely helps, okay? But hey, remember, I do live streams Monday evening, 5 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, work permitting, so long as I can get off work in time. And then I also go live on the HVAC Overtime channel, again, work permitting. I missed this last week because I was working. On Friday evenings, about 6:05 p.m. Pacific time with my buddies, Joe, Adam, and Bill. And we usually just kind of recap the week and stuff. So I really appreciate you, and we will catch you on the next one, okay?